football fans, this is it, our fifth and final home broadcast of the season. While time officially runs out on the season next weekend up in McMinnville for the Bearcats against Linfield, today's game is the final home game of the Bearcats regular season this year. And this afternoon, it's bittersweet. The Bearcats will say goodbye to a group of graduating seniors, each of whom has no doubt left his mark both on this program and in this community as well. Well, good afternoon and happy Senior Day, everybody. Wonderful to be here with you. I'm Jeff Lucero, live with the broadcast from McCulloch Stadium here in Salem, Oregon on a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous November early afternoon. This Northwest Conference matinee game pits the Bearcats against a very familiar fro from the league. Whitworth is in town today, bringing their 5-0 undefeated conference record. A Northwest title on the line for the Pirates here this afternoon. We will talk about matchups here in just a bit, but first, let's shift our focus completely to the group of graduates making their final appearance here in a Bearcats uniform at home this afternoon. 13 players will either graduate next spring or have already done so and are playing out a graduate senior season while working their way through grad school. And what an impressive and really inspiring group of young men they are. Sure, they're a great group of student athletes, but much more importantly, they're also just phenomenal students, and perhaps most importantly, they're just a bunch of really good dudes as well. I don't really get to spend a whole lot of time on campus, and I rarely get to interact with the student athletes all that much. But I did get to sit down with Bearcats head coach Eric Williams a little bit earlier this week and talk to him about their time as student athletes here at Willamette and what each of them has meant to the Willamette football program. He spoke of each of them with a certain real amount of reverence, just very thoughtful pride about every single one of them, about what it has meant to coach them and how well they all represent this university both on the football field and in the classroom as well. He talked about how they've all grown into being such good leaders, well-rounded young men as well. Let me tell you, the future sure sounds like it's pretty bright, folks. This group of youngsters gives an old guy like me a lot of hope for our future. I have no doubts that they are all perfectly emblematic of the character, not just of this entire football program, but perhaps of Willamette's entire senior class. I walked away from my conversation with Coach Williams thinking that if this group of young men is indicative of what the future holds, if they do in fact represent what's coming down the road, then we are all very much in very good and capable hands going forward. If I could have, I would have sat down with all 13 of them. I have no doubt I would have been very impressed with every single one of them as well. We'll talk a little bit more about them as the broadcast progresses throughout the day. But first, let's give each of them their flowers by name. Alphabetical order, let's hear it right now for Nick Beswick-Seidel, Trajan Clark, Braden Duke, Caden Gonzalez, Parker Heisey, Kylan Keeler, Braden Ovitz, Austin Payne, Herde Raj, Alex Rivera, Terry Sherman, Brandon Smith, and Aaron Wilson. During today's game, I'll be sure to share the great things that Bearcats head coach Eric Williams had to say about each and every one of them as we work our way through this very special Senior Day broadcast. So, to that entire group of seniors, on behalf of the entire Bearcats athletic and student-athlete community, congrats on all you've accomplished. We cannot wait to see what the future holds for every single one of you. We're going to step aside for just a couple of moments as we get closer to kickoff here this afternoon. Hope you enjoyed the pictures that we brought you from Senior Day earlier. We'll be right back.
And now, all fans who are willing and able, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem.
All righty, folks, Senior Day kickoff mere moments from now. Beautiful fall day here in Salem in November. Temperature at kickoff looks like it's going to be about 56, maybe 57 degrees. Not a cloud in the sky. It is absolutely gorgeous here in Salem for the final home game of 2025 for the Bearcats. As for Whitworth, after a slow start in the non-conference, they won their first game but lost their next couple before ripping off 5 straight wins in league play. Whitworth now stands alone atop the Northwest Conference standings, an unblemished 5-0. They also hold the tiebreaker over Linfield, who's in second place with a 4-1 record, by virtue of the fact that they beat Linfield on the road, no less, 30-20 back in mid-October. A win today, and Whitworth would clinch an automatic bid to the NCAA playoffs. A win today and another next week at home against Puget Sound clinches the Pirates' second outright conference title in the last 3 years, and third overall under head coach Rod Sandberg. It's kind of strange when you look at Whitworth's numbers. There's kind of really nothing about this team that, unlike in the past, jumps out and absolutely terrifies you about the Pirates, which is really something that you haven't been able to say about Coach Rod Sandberg's teams in recent years. They've been awfully good for several years now, and while they are undefeated in conference play, the average is 25 points per game while giving up 19 points per game. Now, that is the best in the conference, but it's not exactly an eye-popping margin by any stretch. In a league, you won't find their name atop very many of the conference leaderboards. In scoring, they rank just 6th in the league. Remember, just 8 teams in the Northwest Conference play football. We've got 9 teams in the league. In total offense, they're 6th overall. Total defense, 4th overall. In rushing, they're 2nd to last. This is kind of a weird one. They are 2nd to last in the conference in rushing, despite having the league's leading rusher in all-world tailback Luis Salgado. In passing, they rank 5th. In sacks, they're 6th. Interceptions, also 6th as well. Fumble recovery, 6th. Yet here they are, 1 win away from advancing to the NCAA playoffs yet again, with only Willamette and Puget Sound standing in the way of an outright conference title. One area where they are elite is in the kick game. We're actually going to see kicker Iden Bone here in just a moment. It will be Whitworth kicking off to start the game in just a moment. Iden Bone's a perfect 22 of 22 on PATs. He leads the Northwest Conference in field goals made with 12. His 47-yard field goal earlier this season, the longest in the league this year. But yes, this is a very good Whitworth team. Don't get it twisted. They just don't jump off the page like they have in years past. Kickoff is away. It is fielded at about the 6, actually sort of mishandled at about the 6-yard line. Snodgrass, and just let it land, stuck a paw out, and then kind of not getting much out of that at all. So the Bearcats going to be pinned pretty deep in their own territory. Not right up against the goal line by any measure, but not a great start for the Bearcats as they are still hunting their first league win of the season. Season finishes in a tough way, facing first place Whitworth today, and they are on the road at Linfield next weekend in the season finale. Bearcats in the traditional cardinal and gold uniforms. We weren't sure who we were going to see starting at quarterback. It is the senior Alex Rivera getting the start today. I'm sure we'll see Luke Rasmussen in today's game. On first down, first play from scrimmage of the game. Rivera drops back to pass, drops it off here on the near side flat. It's a good chunk of yards on first down, so a little bit of breathing room for the Bearcats after the mishandled kickoff. They'll set it down on the near side hash right at the 15. So a gain of about 4 on first down. Second and a long 6 upcoming. And flags fly in ahead of this play. First marker of the game whistled against Sebastian Jimenez, freshman offensive lineman from Whittier, California. Backs the Bearcats up an additional 5, so second and 11 upcoming now for Rivera, who now has Mason Uribe in the backfield. Standing to his left, shotgun snap, handoff Uribe. Bottled up quickly, tries the left side after bouncing free. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but not a whole lot more. Excellent pursuit up front from Whitworth. So while defensively, again, not an overwhelming defense, they do have some dudes for sure. None better than linebacker Drew Cody, youngster, he's a sophomore. Second in the league in tackles with 73. 6.5 of those are TFLs. Defensive end Lane Watkins coming off the Northwest Conference Student Athlete of the Week award after a monster performance in last week's win over Pacific Lutheran. Third and long now for the Bearcats. Actually lost yardage on that last play. Rivera fires a pass across the middle, has a man. It's well short of first down yardage. Conley Moscott with the reception, I believe. And the Bearcats will go 3 and out on their opening touch. Bearcats with a couple of punters on this team. They will turn to Brandon Smith to punt this one away. We'll, of course, also at some point likely see Kyle Frick. Those two have sort of been alternating back and forth in the punt game for the Bearcats. Looks like Hayden Throneberry back deep. He'll let it bounce in front of him. It'll check up and actually take a massive Willamette roll all the way inside the 30. It will be spotted at the 30, at the 29-yard line. So yes, Hayden Throneberry, it was a short punt. I mean, he was not going to have an opportunity to play it at all. He was going to have to pick it off the carpet if he wanted it. Kind of wisely let it bounce. However, Brandon Smith was able to land it on the field at just the right angle. It took a huge bounce. It rolled an additional 30 yards, maybe more than that downfield. At any rate, decent field position for Whitworth on their first possession of the game. From their own 29 here on the near side hash. Quarterback Logan Lacio. Quiet season, but he's been efficient, no question about it. Wants to throw on first down. Has a man, that's Tyson Hoke, second leading receiver on this team coming in today. In the pass game, Lacio spreads it around. No receiver has more than 27 catches on the season. But a bunch of guys to choose from. Caleb Northcroft, Tyson Hope, who just had the catch. Deacon Dietz, Dawson Tobeck, and Chase Gomes. Second down run, this is Luis Salgado, #1 overall rusher in the league. Kind of a down season for Brody Bentolina at Pacific, who was the nation's leading rusher a season ago. Teams have stacked the box against Pacific, made it really hard for him to find running lanes. Salgado only a couple of yards ahead of him overall for the rushing title this season. Nice gain, sets up Whitworth from their own 43. Here's Salgado again on the left side. Chase down Javi Rodriguez. First man to him, credited with the tackle. What a season it's been for Javi Rodriguez. The guy is in hyperdrive all the time.
We're good.
Chasing guys around. He's just
We're good.
been an absolute stud on defense for the Bearcats. Holds Salgado that time to a modest gain of 4 yards. 2nd and 6 upcoming for the Pirates as they threaten plus territory. The ball set down on the near side hash at the Pirates' 47-yard line. Salgado make it. Lacio takes the snap, dumps it out far side flat, near the boundary and near the sticks into Willamette territory, but I believe about a yard shy of the first down. That is Dawson Tobeck with the reception. And he was dropped a yard short of the line to gain. So 3rd and 1 upcoming. And Whitworth goes heavy, very likely. This is Luis Salgado time. Lacio not much of a threat with his legs. So 3rd and short from the pistol. Lacio turns, gives, straight ahead run. Salgado bottled up, but I think he got enough. And in fact, he'll spill forward for a first down. So the chains will move. The ball set down right at the 45-yard line. Again, modest numbers for Lacio on the season, but he loves to spread it around. And they've got a tight end as well. Nate Peterson hasn't been much of a factor in the pass game in league play. He had 13 catches in the 3 non-conference games, just 9, however, in the 5 league games. So Peterson's still dangerous in the tight end position for this squad. On 1st and 10, Lacio awaits the snap with Salgado standing to his right. Salgado gets the handoff, and he's bottled up immediately, brought down in the backfield. They'll throw him back into Whitworth territory, but forward progress will still get him back close to the line of scrimmage. Still, it's a loss of 1. That play blown up from the start. Bearcats doing work up front. How about that? Penetration from John Henry Hankins, first man to Salgado, drops him for a loss of a yard. It's 2nd and 11 from the Bearcats' 46. Right on the Bearcat logo. Beautiful day here, can't stress it enough. It is absolutely gorgeous in Salem. Lacio, deep drop, dumps it off underneath, has Salgado, has the first down as he makes his way toward the far side boundary. It's eventually dragged down, but not after a gain of 13, maybe 14 yards for Luis Salgado. One of his better plays of the season. Salgado's a great safety valve, but he hasn't done a whole lot in the pass game. 14 catches, 61 yards coming in, so fewer than 5 yards per catch, but picks up 14 on that one. And now Whitworth in business. They're close to field goal range for their all-conference kicker. But a fresh set of downs. Design pass, they'll bubble it out far side. I think that's Dawson Tobeck again with the reception. So gain of 5 on first down. The ball set down now inside the 30 at the 29 far side hash. Took a while for teams to rotate in the correct personnel. Now Lacio on 2nd down. Handoff Salgado. Close to first down yardage. Might have it. Depends on the spot. Salgado 751 yards on the ground coming in. Pretty much exactly 5 yards per carry. 9 touchdowns on the season. So 3rd and 1 upcoming as Salgado did not pick up the first. So big play here for the Bearcats. And they stiffen. They force a field goal try for Whitworth on their opening drive. Lacio awaits the snap, Salgado to his left. After a gain of 3 yards to the Bearcats 20, Salgado has yet another first down on 3rd and 1. So a steady diet of Luis Salgado on this drive. Couple of short pass plays for Whitworth. That's just kind of how it's been. Just a methodical, sort of deliberate pace to this Whitworth offense this season. Nothing flashy, not a lot of explosive plays. They've had a couple long touchdown passes, but those have mostly been yards after catch. Lacio will actually motion out, so a wildcat here. However, a flag flies in. And since it's pre-snap, it's likely.
Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty.
The false start whistled against Whitworth. That's the first penalty of the contest against the Pirates. So, 1st and 15 upcoming now. On 1st and 15, rolling out to his left, dumps it off underneath. Not much doing there at all. Might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage, but not a lot more, if that even. Delgado in on the tackle of Tyson Hoke after a modest gain of, call it 4 yards, so 2nd and 11 now. Ball resting just outside the 22-yard line here on the near side hash. Offset formation, Salgado stands now to the left of quarterback Lacio. 2 wide to the near side, 1 to the top of the formation. Tight end on the field, will drop it off underneath once again to Salgado. Gets to about the 15, close to it anyway. He's ridden out of bounds. So it's going to be 3rd and 4 upcoming here for Whitworth. Salgado already his 3rd catch as well in this game. Maybe that's just catch number 2. We're still waiting live stats to load up on our machines. So try my best to recall this drive from memory. This will be about the 10th, or maybe 11th play of this drive for Whitworth. It started back on their own 29-yard line. A big 3rd down here. 3rd and 4 from the pistol. Short drop, gets it off underneath. Fighting his way toward the line to gain, and I think he's got it. That is Deacon Dietz with his first catch. Dietz has had a nice season. 21 catches, 289 yards, 3 touchdowns coming in. Well, they mark him short, apparently. So it's 4th and very short from the Bearcats' 16-yard line. My goodness. Look at where that ball is spotted. The chain gang over there has the ball, has that 4th down marker nearly on top of the 1st down marker. Heavy formation. Salgado, left side, dropped in the backfield. There's no way he got there. We'll see where they spot it, but I think he's short. From up here, it certainly looks that way. It's hard to tell. We will know in a moment. I tell you, from up here, it looked like he got dropped for about a loss of half a yard. And in fact, he did come up short, so the Bearcat defense bends but does not break. How about that on 4th and I swear an inch? Here's your replay. Crashing down the line.
Yeah.
What a play from Noah Reese. Local product out of Albany. Flying down the line, wrapping up Salgado and dropping him short of the line to gain. The Bearcat offense is on the field, but we're yet to see the Whitworth defense come out. We might have a challenge. Here's Eric Williams, head coach for the Bearcats, sprinting back down the field. Well, they've asked for a measurement, and they will get that. So no challenge yet. This is just a measurement. And they will say 1st down Bearcats. So So it's up to Whitworth whether they want to challenge here. I think this is a challengeable play. Remember that challenge and replay are a new part of D3 football this season, or at least in the Northwest Conference. The preliminary indication was he was short. The chain gang tells you the same. The Bearcats offense is on the field. And here comes the Pirates defense. So it is the Bearcats defense doing its job, turning away Whitworth on 4th and an inch. Really and truly, the success rate at that down and distance has got to be right around 99%. Massive play. My goodness. Noah Reese flying, just coming in from nowhere. Wrapping up Salgado, dropping him for the loss, or at least no gain. On first down, Rivera gives it to Uribe, I believe. It is Mason Uribe, team's leading rusher, coming in, 325 yards and a couple of spikes on the season. We'll see sort of a rotation out there, a three-headed hydra of tailbacks in the backfield. Uribe, Snodgrass, and Jarek Little. All will see time. Uribe stays on the field for 2nd and 6. And he'll get the carry once again, but he's wrapped up very quickly, brought down. That is Rusty Ako Nataniela on the stop. Wrapping up Uribe, dropping him for a loss of 2, so 3rd and 8 now coming up for Willamette. Very impressive opening drive for Whitworth. Again, back at their own 29-yard line. 12, maybe 13 plays. The Bearcats defense stops him on 4th down. Tough snap. Rivera has to go all the way back to the end zone. Picks it up. He's still in the end zone. Has time to get rid of it. Does so. It's nearly picked off. 2 Pirate defenders converge on the ball, and it goes through both of their hands. What a fortunate sequence. I asked my colleague Bud Nemick from the Pirates broadcast from the booth next door, thought maybe Rivera's knee went down in the end zone. Tough to tell from that. It's very possible that he did take a knee in the end zone, so the referees may have missed one. That's certainly a challengeable call from Whitworth, and that's exactly what I think we're going to get. So if his knee did go down in the end zone, that would produce a safety, and the game's first points would go on the board for the Pirates. They're talking it over with head coach Rod Sandberg over on the Whitworth sideline. Here's another replay. So tough snap. Rivera goes back to get it. Goes down for the ball. Did his knee touch there? It's tough to tell. That's it looks like it may have, but it also kind of looks like there might have been just a little bit of separation. 2 Whitworth defenders had a chance to pick off the pass, and they kind of got in the way of one another. As it stands, it's 4th and 8 for the Bearcats. They were set to punt, but I think we're getting a challenge, and we are. So we've got a stoppage in play on the field while the reffing crew takes a look at that last play. We'll be right back on the Bearcat Network. Got to give credit where it's due. Alex Rivera did just about everything he could to keep that from being an absolute catastrophe. In the end, it still might wind up being a tough play for the Bearcats. We will see what the referees decide. Will they determine that Rivera's knee did in fact come down in the end zone? We're still waiting it out up here. Outstanding camera crew here with Capital Community Media, helping us out with all the angles. And here's the call.
After review, the rule is the runner's knee was down when he recovered the ball in the end zone. Results of play is safety. 2 points will be awarded to Whitworth. The lineman will kick off. Whitworth will not be charged a timeout and has 1 extra challenge for the remainder of the game.
Well, there you have it. They did, in fact, determine that Rivera's knee touchdown in the end zone. He did everything he could to keep himself upright. The knee must have just grazed in the end zone. It did, in fact, look like it came down, but it can be so difficult to determine from various angles. It can look like it did without actually getting there. We did have a field level look at it there, too, and it did look like his knee may have touched as well. In any event, the determination is that it was, in fact, a safety. So Whitworth now leads this game 2-0. A little over 2 minutes left in the first quarter. So free kick upcoming.
No.
Although by free kick in college, it's more of an actual kickoff, but it's all the way back at the 20-yard line.
Whitworth has changed his number to number 90.
So Caleb Northcroft and Chase Gomes standing at their own 20. And Beswick Seidel will boot it away from the Bearcats 20. Low driving kick taken off a bounce by Northcroft. Down the right side, across the 45, close to midfield. And after the safety, Whitworth's offense will come back onto the field. Set up in great field position. After about a 23-yard free kick / kickoff return from Caleb Northcroft. Northcroft may stay on the field here. He mixes in as a significant factor in the pass game for the Pirates. In fact, he is the team's leading receiver coming in with 27 catches. Pistol formation on first down. Ball 2 yards away from midfield. Play fake to Salgado. Now rolling out of the pocket. Chased to the right. Has a man downfield, and there he is, Northcroft. We talked about him a second ago, the team's leading receiver on that kickoff return a moment ago. An outstanding catch. That's a 23-yard gain into Bearcat territory, and Whitworth wants to play with some pace. Northcroft sets Whitworth up within field goal range. That ball may have been picked off. It was! How about that? Jumping the route for the Bearcats. That is Tyler Schoenrock with the interception. The ball thrown across the field. Schoenrock did a wonderful job breaking back on the ball. Watch this replay. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, Schoenrock just stepping in front of the intended receiver, Tyson Hoke. Reels it in. Whitworth's sideline went begging for an incompletion, but Schoenrock wrapped up that ball and came down. Remember, you only need to get 1 foot, knee, elbow, any part of your body down, basically, in college. So Whitworth was in business, back in scoring range. Instead of the turnover, gives it right back to the Bearcats. Rivera on first down from the gun. First down run, I believe it's Snodgrass, the ball carrier. Let the pile uncover. Yep, that is Austin Snodgrass with his first carry of the game. Not checked that. That is Uribe. Never mind. Mason Uribe. 28 and 26 can be hard to distinguish from up here. That was Uribe on the carry. My apologies. I'll do better. In any event, it was a no gain, so it's 2nd and 10 for the Bearcats. From the far hash, Rivera from the gun, short drop, looks right, chased, flushed out, and he'll just throw it away into the boundary. Rivera's slippery, he's elusive. When he feels the pressure, always does a nice job of moving the pocket. That could have been a disaster, could have been a sack for a big, big loss. Whitworth has some dudes along that front. None better than Layton. He is a spectacular player. Excuse me, Lane Watkins is his name. My mistake. Lane Watkins, number 99, for the Pirates. Now on 3rd and 10. Rivera coming across the seam, has a man, and first down yardage for the Bearcats. Jordan Robinson with a nice little in-crosser has the first down at the Bearcats' 35-yard line. It's the first time the Bearcats have moved the chains here in this contest. 45 seconds left in the first quarter. A fresh set of downs for the Bearcats to mess around with. Rivera from the gun, takes the snap, drops it off underneath. Nice gain on first down. Might be our final play of the first quarter. We'll see how the Bearcats want to hustle up and run another play. That was Snodgrass with the reception. Austin Snodgrass actually wearing number 6 today. So that makes it a little easier to tell them apart. Snodgrass has been wearing number 26 all season, changing his number though today, and now wearing number 6. The final seconds of the first quarter will drain from the clock. The Bearcats will be facing 2nd and short from their own 42 on the other side of this break. You're watching Bearcat football on the Bearcat Network. As we get set for second quarter action, 2-0 our score after the safety. Alex Rivera did everything he could to prevent it, but in the end, a referee review determined that he did take a knee in the end zone, scrambling away after the tough snap. Here we are, 2nd and 3. Pocket collapses very quickly. And that is Dylan McCain and Lane Watkins converging on Alex Rivera, dropping him for a 3-yard loss. So 2nd and 3, suddenly 3rd and 6. From the Bearcats' 44-yard line, Snodgrass remains on the field, wearing number 6 today, not number 26 as he's done all season. 3rd and 6 for the Bearcats. Snodgrass to the left of quarterback Alex Rivera. Snodgrass takes the handoff and goes nowhere. Just stoned at the line of scrimmage. No gain, and the Bearcats will be forced to punt it away. So after Tyler Schoenrock interception, a nice little connection between Rivera and Robinson to pick up a first down. The drive stalls for the Bearcats. 4th and 6, they'll punt it away from their own 39. Back deep is Hayden Throneberry, at his own 25-yard line. Their shorter punt fielded just inside the 30. Fair catch called for. And the Whitworth offense will retake the field, starting from their own 30-yard line. We saw a whole bunch of Luis Salgado on the first drive for Whitworth. He had 9 touches, 7 carries, and 2 receptions on the first drive for the Pirates. But the most important one, he was turned away on 4th and inches. He stands behind quarterback Lacio in the pistol formation, takes the handoff, goes straight ahead, not much doing. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. They'll give him credit for about half a yard. He was spilled pretty quickly. Very little daylight in the trenches between the tackles. In fact, he picked up about a foot, so we'll say it's 2nd and 10. Logan Lacio awaits the snap. One turnover thus far. That's the interception. Tyler Schoenrock for the Bearcats to stunt a drive for Whitworth. On second down, Salgado's number called again. Tries the outside. Did a nice job bouncing away from the initial contact to turn at least nothing into something. Still a short gain, and it'll be 3rd and 7 upcoming for the Pirates. Salgado does a nice job. There might have been a hold mixed in there, but in any event, it didn't have much to do with the outcome of the play. So 3rd and 7. Salgado remains on the field. They don't have much of a run game behind Salgado. Here's Lacio. Plenty of time in the pocket. Now he's chased down from behind and brought down in the backfield. Massive sack from John Williamson, crashing down the line. Finally releases from his block. And that is an 8-yard loss, make it a 9-yard loss, courtesy of John Williamson. Lacio had a ton of time in the pocket, just couldn't find anybody open downfield. So great coverage on the back end, I can only assume, as I'm ball watching, just watching what the quarterback does. But too much time for Lacio, and Williamson makes him pay for a 9-yard loss. The punt will check up at the 38-yard line. Oh no, it's touched off a foot by a Bearcats player, and I believe the Pirates recovered. They did. Oh no! Just a fluky, terrible break going against the Bearcats. Bearcats player lost his footing, was sliding forward, and the ball touches one of his feet and is recovered by the Pirates. Live ball after that touch. Oh my goodness, so unfortunate.
Wheeling on the field as the ball was touched by the receiving team.
Just sort of lost his footing.
Team member for Whitworth. First down, Whitworth.
So Whitworth's offense will stay on the field, effectively anyway. And they're back in business at the Bearcat 32. Oh my goodness. Tough break for the Bearcats, who had just gotten that spectacular 9-yard loss on the sack from Williamson. A flag flies in. This is either going to be somebody lined up in the neutral zone or an illegal formation for the Pirates, because it's when the line judge throws the flag at the snap of the ball, it's one or the other. Either the Bearcats were lined up in the neutral zone or it's an illegal formation with the receiver covered up.
Legal formation.
There it is.
Offense, 5 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
So a big play wiped off the board by the illegal formation penalty against Whitworth. That'll back them up to the Bearcat 37, but still, of course, very much alive in Bearcat territory here. A little bit of confusion as the Bearcats rotate personnel off and on the field. So 1st and 15 upcoming. 2-0 our score. 11 minutes to play here in the first half. And now a timeout taken by the Bearcats and head coach Eric Williams.
Willamette, it is their first charge timeout of the half.
Pretty interesting game thus far. Turnovers now for each team. Most recent one, a tough one for the Bearcats. Trying to regain some momentum. So coming out of the timeout, still going to be 1st and 15 now for Whitworth. Can't exactly say as they're driving. This one started at the 32. Hasn't netted any yards after the penalty. Salgado, of course, on the field with Logan Lacio, the quarterback, from the shotgun. And off Salgado. Bounces it outside. He's outside the numbers. He's inside the 20. Makes a move back inside. And he's finally brought down just shy of the goal line. Massive run from Luis Salgado, who got to the edge, turned on the Jets. Made a nice couple of moves along the way. First, bouncing it outside. Quick little jump cut after he plants a foot. You'll see on the replay, boom, there. And just explodes outside the numbers. Javi Rodriguez chasing him downfield and finally upended. Not before a gain of 34 yards. That's first and goal for the Pirates, knocking on the door. 10:20 to play first half, 2-0 the score. Lacio looking left, has a man, touchdown Pirates. Chase Gomes, touchdown number 2 on the season for him. For Lacio, that is his 11th touchdown against just 2, actually now 3 interceptions on the season. That's the thing about that pass from Lacio earlier that was picked off by Schoenrock. He's been so careful. He had thrown just 2 interceptions on the season coming in. In fact, Bud Nemick, Pirates' spectacular play-by-play voice, telling me that he had thrown 144 passes in a row coming into today's game without an interception. So that makes it all the more extraordinary. He had a little mental lapse for a moment. And that streak of what was actually, by the time he threw it, about 150 passes in a row without an interception. Point after try, up and good, of course. He's been perfect all season. Expect nothing less at this point from Iden Bone. He's 23 of 23 on the year. So 9-0 our score. We want to start mixing in some of these anecdotes that we've gotten from head coach Eric Williams about these 13 seniors. We're going to start delivering those to you just as quick as we can. So Salgado now having a nice day. He's got 60 yards on the ground after that massive gain of 33. Put the Pirates on the doorstep. Lacio's 3-yard connection with Chase Gomes. And the kickoff sails into the end zone. The Bearcats will begin the drive at their own 25. So 9-0 now our score. Taking a quick look at the other scores around the league. We have an identical 9-0 score in the Pacific Lutheran Lewis and Clark game. How about Linfield jumping out with 4 touchdowns against Puget Sound? The first quarter's not even over yet in Tacoma, and Linfield already leads 28-0 over the Loggers. All right, on 1st and 10 now for the Bearcats. They will empty it out. 5 wides on the field, 3 to the near side, 2 at the top of the formation. And it's a design run for Rivera, straight ahead from the 25. Gotta love that play concept from the Bearcats. They spread everything out, leaves the middle of the field wide open, and if Rivera could have gotten into that 3rd level of the defense, it would have been a foot race. It would have been a one-on-one challenge somewhere in the middle of the field. So a nice chunk on 1st down for Rivera. 2nd and 2 after the 8-yard rumble on the design run for the quarterback from the shotgun. Same formation on 2nd and 2. This time Rivera will look to pass. Looking right down the middle of the field, throws it across the middle of the field. Converging was the safety. Going up trying to make a play on it was Conley Moscott. He was unable to reel it in. Nice play over the top from Whitworth. Looks like help side defense in basketball. I believe that was Wyatt Hess making a play. So 3rd and a short 2, very manageable here on 3rd down for the Bearcats. 3 wides, tight end on the field. Single setback is Mason Uribe. Now Trajan Clark motions right to left across the formation. Rivera will look to dump it off underneath. Looking for Trajan Clark, the motion man. He was right at the line to gain, but that pass broke it up at the spot. And on 4th and 2, it looks like the Bearcats will opt to punt it away, this time bringing Kyle Frick onto the field in punt formation. Kyle Frick, the transfer from George Fox. Hayden Throneberry now a few steps ahead of the 30-yard line, back in Pirates territory. On 4th and 2, here's the punt. Fair caught at about the 38-yard line. Not a lot of length on that punt. And the Pirates set up in decent field position for their next drive. They got 7 on the last one. They were working with a short field, however. They got a massive chunk of that on one play after the 33-yard dash down the near sideline from Luis Salgado. 60 yards and a touch. He's not on the field for first down. They will empty it out. 5 wide, 3 to the near side, 2 at the top for quarterback Logan Lacio. It's a design run for him as well from the similar formation. Now this is interesting because Lacio's not much of a pocket runner at all. This is a guy that they don't do a lot of this with. Alex Rivera typically does a lot with his legs when he is playing quarterback for the Bearcats. We don't see Lacio do much of that. He only has 9 rushing yards on the season coming in today. He clips that number right there in one fell swoop as he moves the chains. So from the 48, a more familiar formation as Salgado comes back onto the field, already with 10 carries on the day, make it number 11. Actually checked that. That is not Salgado on the carry. That is Owen Harris, who has checked in. My apologies, 20 and 30. Again, hard to distinguish from up top. They're giving Salgado a break after that 33-yard rumble. Harris stays on the field for 2nd and 6. That carry from Harris a moment ago carried the Pirates into plus territory. So from the 48 of the Bearcats, play fake. That is Dawson Tobeck with the reception. Catch and carry out near the line to gain. I think they're going to mark him just short of the first down. So it'll be 3rd and a yard. And here come the Pirates playing quickly. 2 wides here on the near side. And now Eric Williams will call timeout.
Timeout? Willamette. He's their second charge, time out of the half.
So speaking of head coach Eric Williams, he has nothing but high praise for every single one of his student athletes, particularly this group of seniors. They're down on the field or on the sideline one final time here at home today. Of course, there is one game left in the season at Linfield next week, but one of the things when we talked earlier this week, he talked a lot about all the sacrifice, the battles they've gone through. Every single one of these 13 senior student athletes, they've all done just whatever they could do to help the program on a day in, day out basis without exception and really without hesitation as well. Coach Williams kind of just talking about how he wished he could have coached all of them for all 4 years. He said that. I wish I could have had all these guys for all 4 years of their journeys as student athletes. This, of course, is year number 2 with Eric Williams at the helm as head coach of this football program. Former second team all Pac-12 cornerback at Oregon State. Now the head coach here in Salem. It's 3rd and 1 for the Pirates. From the far side hash. On 3rd down, they'll look to throw. Lacio has a man. Far side flat. Catch and stepping out of bounds, Tyson Hoke. And this is what Whitworth does. They just have so many underneath receivers. Caleb Northcroft, Tyson Hoke, Deacon Dietz, Dawson Tobeck, Chase Gomes, who had the touchdown. Chase Gomes has been more their over-the-top threat. He averages about 17 yards per catch. Scored on a 3-yard touchdown. And Owen Harris stays on the field and picks up 5 yards on first down. So 2nd and 5 here. And again, Whitworth keeps their foot on the gas. They'll slow down for a moment and wait for the play to be signaled in from the sideline. Under 7 to play here in the first half. 9-0 lead for Whitworth. 2nd and 5. Lacio moves the pocket, slides to his right. It's dropped here on the near side. In and out of the hands of Tyson Hoke. And adding a little bit of injury to insult, as it were. He takes a nice pop right at the out-of-bound marker. So it's 3rd down from the 32. They've got to reach actually closer to the 26. So this is more like 3rd and 6 than 3rd and 5. It's 3rd and 5 on the board, but it's a long 5 because they've got to reach almost the 26-yard line to get there. We've got a break in the action on the field. We've got coaches down on the field for both teams. I don't see a player down. Was there a timeout on the field? I mean, there must have been. We've got coaches walking around all over the place. All right, with both teams huddling on the field, let's talk a little bit more about what Eric Williams had to say about this group of seniors. So yeah, I mean, that really stood out to me when he said he wished that he could have coached all of these guys for all 4 years. He's only been here for the 2, but that's just so indicative of how special this group of players is to him as their coach. He spoke with just pure respect and reverence for this whole senior class. You know, some of whom stayed with the program through that head coaching change, some of whom Coach Williams brought in as part of his first class of recruits, transferring in from other programs around the country. So they had a team meeting on Sunday, he told me, and that he stood before the team and he talked about how special this group of seniors is. He thanked each of them. He kind of went around the room, thanked all of them thanking each of them for helping to create and foster and build the culture that he's trying to impart and instill in this program every single day. So he's had 8 guys who have been here for all 4 years and 5 more that he brought in. One guy he talked about was Austin Payne, telling me, you know, here's a guy that he came in and made an impact right away. He just works hard nonstop. He's been a spectacular, just tremendous leader to his teammates. He just plays in 5th gear every single snap of every game he's played. That's one of the guys that he's talked about. About Braden Ovitz, you know, he told the coaching staff that Braden should be the team MVP based on every single different thing that he's been asked to do. You know, he started on the defensive line where he was very solid, but moved to tight end because the team had a need there. Now he's the team's long snapper. Braden Ovitz ought to be the team MVP. 3rd and 6 here for the Pirates. Lacio fires across the middle from the seam, has a man angling in, a little crosser. And that's not even one of his primary receivers necessarily. That's Drake Mathis coming in. He hasn't had a lot of touches on the season. Fewer than 10 receptions, but a big one there. Now the Pirates in the red zone. Going quickly again. Salgado, straight ahead give. Wrapped up from behind by Raj. And sort of bullying his way forward, kind of falling forward to about the 10-yard line. So a decent gain on first down, brings up 2nd and 6. From the 10, the Pirates up 9-0, looking for more points as we hit the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. Actually, I believe that was not Salgado, but it's still Owen Harris on the field now for 2nd down, so must have been Harris a moment ago. He gets the give here again. The right side of the line, but it bottles up very quickly. Snowed under by a host of Willamette defenders. So a more modest gain on 2nd down. We'll bring up 3rd and call it 5 from the Bearcats' 8-yard line. Kind of a short 5, but it looks like they've got to reach right around the 4 to pick up the first, but it's spotted at the 8. So from the pistol, Salgado back on the field. So now Harris comes off on 3rd down. It is Salgado. He's a better receiving option out of the backfield. And Salgado will reset to the right of quarterback Lacio. Looking right, Lacio tucks and goes, makes a nice move inside, and he spills across the goal line for the 2nd touchdown of the second quarter for the Pirates. They now lead it 15-0 pending the outcome of the point after try. Lacio doing a really nice job just reading the room. Good coverage from the Bearcats. Wait, hold everything. There is a marker in the backfield all the way back near the 20-yard line. It's kind of hard to pick up. There's lots of leaves all over the field.
Offense, number 51. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
They'll erase the touchdown, take it off the board. Lacio's nice little 8-yard scamper goes for naught. I didn't see the marker. There's so many leaves on the field, and the way that the marker was actually sort of crumpled up, it just looked like another of the leaves that are on the field. All right, so here it is now, 3rd and long, 3rd and 14 for Whitworth, all the way back now at their 18, at the Bearcats 18. From the gun, Lacio surveys across the middle, dumps it off to a safety valve underneath. Luis Salgado, he's bottled up, but all he does is reach the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th and 10. And we'll see what Whitworth will choose to do, and it looks like they will trot their field goal unit onto the field. So that massive penalty erases the Lacio touchdown scamper. And now we'll get a look at Iden Bone, the premier place kicker in the Northwest Conference. He's perfect on PATs, 12 of 15 on field goals. Season long is 47. This is much, much shorter than that. Spotted down at the 18-yard line. It's up and good, and from 28 yards, Whitworth now has a double-digit lead of 12-0. A little over 4 minutes left here in the first half on the Bearcat Network.
We need some points. Let's go.
Number 8 for Whitworth is now number 90. And 8 is number 90.
Quick check on the scores around the conference. George Fox leads Pacific 7-0. Those stats look like they haven't updated in a while. That one's still showing there's a minute and a half left in the first quarter. Linfield with a massive 35-7 lead, just under 13 minutes left in the first half. In Tacoma over Puget Sound, Pacific Lutheran with a 10-point lead over Lewis and Clark. Here's Austin Snodgrass trying to make men miss, fighting his way back toward the 20-yard line. It's going to be a short kickoff return for Snodgrass, but heck of an effort anyway, just pinballing his way up the field. Still though, less than favorable field position for the Bearcats to start the next drive inside their own 20. Ball spotted down at the 18, and it's from there that Alex Rivera and the Bearcat offense will retake the field. A critical penalty against Whitworth wiped away a touchdown. They settle for the field goal. Safety to start the scoring today. A short touchdown pass after the long run from Salgado after getting a short field. That brings us to your scoring of 12-0. Mason Uribe takes the pitch out of the shotgun, tries the right side on that short side, and there just was not much there. Whitworth converging very quickly to shut that down for no gain. He is ridden out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe the nose of the football moves forward the length of the football, but that's it. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Bearcats. Rivera's rush of 9 yards, the longest run play of the day thus far for the Bearcats. On 2nd down, Rivera will look to pass. Beautiful pass, swings it outside to Uribe out of the backfield. Does a great job reeling that in with one hand. As good as it looked, there just was not a whole lot of yardage on the back end. A gain of 4 before he's knocked out of bounds. And a stoppage on the field for an injury timeout. We've got a Whitworth player shaken up, and they'll bring some folks out to take a look at him. We'll step away for just a moment on the Bearcat Network. The Whitworth player remains down on the field. Situation, once play resumes, it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Bearcats at their own 22-yard line. A scoring update from the Northwest Conference. Pacific Lutheran has scored again. Lewis and Clark got off to a 5-0 start. They looked like world beaters for a while. I think they were receiving votes in the poll, but boy, things have really kind of come off the rails for the Pioneers. I can say Pioneers for just a couple more football games, and that's that. Remember, they're going to be the River Otters beginning with the winter sports docket. Bearcats will never again face the Pioneers. That rivalry is coming to a close. Of course, the Bearcats will in fact face Lewis and Clark, but going forward they'll be playing the River Otters and not the Pioneers. Back to the point though, PLU leads now 23-7 in Portland over Lewis and Clark. We've lost 3 in a row, all of them in league play. Stumbling toward the finish line. On 3rd and 6, Rivera looking to pass, fires a pass downfield, but it's out of bounds. Not much of a chance there for Jordan Robinson to reel that in. How about that throw from Rivera? Man, that shot out of his hand. That was a dart downfield, but it just sails helplessly into the Whitworth sideline, and the Bearcats will be forced to punt. So this is Brandon Smith back on the field to punt for the Bearcats. 4th punt of the day for Willamette. Smith's punted twice. Frick has one. This will be punt number 3 for the senior, the graduate senior. And it's a nice one, big booming punt all the way back. It checks up inside the 30 and rolls inside the 20. Brandon Smith put every little bit of his leg into that. That went soaring down the field. Whitworth's punt returner, Hayden Throneberry, was standing at about his own 40-yard line. That sailed over his head a good 10, maybe 15 yards. He was retreating back on it. It took a big Willamette bounce. And Brandon Smith effectively flips the field. And the Pirates will start backed up a little ways into their own end anyway. Back at their own 16-yard line after the outstanding punt off the foot of Brandon Smith. First down pitch to Salgado. Trying to get to the numbers. He's over the 20. Falls forward to the 21. Salgado continues to put up numbers. Good blocking up front. Opens up just enough of a crease. Turns it into a nice play. Second and a manageable 5 yards. As we near the 2-minute mark. Will the Pirates try to get off a play before the 2-minute timeout? They will. Slow developing play. Salgado on the carry, just fighting through tackles. He's across the 30-yard line. Outstanding running from Salgado. It's a lot of yards after contact, some yaks, if you will.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Gain of 10 yards on 2nd and 5, but Bearcats put 4 or 5 hands on him. You'll see in your replay. Right there, just a couple of yards past the line of scrimmage. Not exactly missed tackles, it's just that not great angles for Bearcat defenders until he's finally brought down after a gain of 10 yards. We are at the 2-minute timeout. Another chance to talk about a couple of our seniors out there. So just to put a bow on the point about Braden Ovitz, I was kind of hustling my way through that ahead of the snap of the ball a few moments ago. But yes, head coach Eric Williams has talked about Braden Ovitz, and he's told his coaching staff, look, if we had an MVP award to put forward, Braden Ovitz would be that dude. He's a guy that started on the defensive line. They moved him to tight end thanks to his athletic ability. His ability to catch the pass, soft hands. The guy who was initially a defensive lineman becomes a tight end, and now he's the long snapper for both punts and kicks. Does everything that the team has asked of him. Even helps with recruiting as well. So Braden Ovitz is just a 5-tool guy in a lot of ways. He's been helping out with the Bearcats on the recruiting side. On 1st and 10, firing downfield, has a man. Deacon Dietz with the catch. Big chunk. That's about a gain of 15. They'll spot it down at the 46. So yes, a gain of 15. And with 1:40 showing. Whitworth threatens midfield to the near side. Through the hands. It would have been a great catch. It was a little bit out of the reach of Drake Mathis. Did everything he could to reel it in. Got full extension, but the ball just glanced off his fingertips and out of bounds. Stops the clock. 94 seconds left in the first half. So 2nd and 10 from their own 46. Salgado to the left of Lacio in the backfield. Short drop out of the gun. Fires across the middle. In the seam. That is Nate Peterson, the tight end. We talked about Nate Peterson a little bit. He had 13 catches in the non-conference, but only 9 catches in 5 conference games. That's his first catch today. And the Bearcats will use their final timeout of the half. So with 1:24 seconds left,
and final timeout of the half.
a fresh set of downs for Whitworth in plus territory. Ball spotted at the 43 of Willamette. Well, so far we've only seen Alex Rivera on the field at quarterback for the Bearcats. Rasmussen has yet to play a snap. About his quarterback, Alex Rivera, who's playing his final game in Salem today, Eric Williams basically said, I can't say enough good things about this kid. He's been so dedicated. He's been selfless at every turn, even when a quarterback like Luke Rasmussen came in and a couple of other guys as well that were brought in this season. Alex Rivera just was like, hey, it's no big deal. I'll do whatever the team needs to do. He just stayed the course, handled it with grace and just a basic understanding of the whole situation. Never complained a single bit. He was the incumbent quarterback last year. Took about 85 snaps, I believe. 85% of the snaps, excuse me, as the quarterback last year. Just stayed supportive, stayed engaged. Here on 1st down, near side. Makes the first man miss, and he's got a whole lot more. That is big, 6'3" Caleb Northcroft. He's had a couple big plays today. His first catch went for about 29 yards. And that's a gain of 14 inside the 30. At the 29. Got out of bounds. The clock stopped at 1:17 now. 12-0 Whitworth. A win today puts them into the NCAA playoffs. Salgado on 1st down, wrapped up near the line of scrimmage, but fights his way forward to the middle of the field. A couple of guys converge. John Williamson mixing in yet again. Gain of 4, gain of 3, 2nd and 7 from the 26. Short drop across the middle. It's the tight end once again, his second catch of this drive. Nate Peterson checking in here on this drive. Has averaged fewer than 2 catches per game in conference, but has 2 catches on this drive alone, and he moves the sticks. Whitworth from the 22 of Willamette. Straight ahead, gives Salgado racing inside the 10, bouncing off men into the end zone. Luis Salgado with an exclamation point as the second half is drawing closer to a close. Luis Salgado mixing strength with speed with power. That was just impressive running from Salgado. He is closing in on 100 yards rushing. He's over 100 yards for the game from scrimmage because he's got a couple of passes out of the backfield as well. And that is his second touchdown of the day. And the Pirates now lead it 18-0. Bone on for the extra point. Good snap. Kick is away, and it's right through the pipes. 19-0 Pirates, 41 seconds left in the first half, and that is an absolute punishing touchdown from Luis Salgado. Breaking tackles, picked up a couple of blocks along the way. Didn't really need them because he was determined to find the end zone, and he did exactly that. And look at this, PLU has scored another touchdown in their game in Portland. They now lead 30-7. Meanwhile, Linfield really pouring it on. They've already got 48 points in the first half, and there's still 5 minutes left in the second quarter. They're up 48-7 on Puget Sound. Linfield trying to keep pace with Whitworth. But if Whitworth wins today, it will not matter. They will wrap it up the Northwest Conference title. And if they can finish a perfect 7-0 run in conference play next week in Puget Sound, they will move into the NCAA playoffs with a head full of steam on a 7-game win streak. Bearcats called for it about the 6-yard line by Austin Snodgrass, so they'll set the ball down at the 25. 41 seconds left here in the second quarter. And Alex Rivera will remain on the field as the quarterback for the Bearcats, who've really struggled to move the ball so far in this contest. Just 28 yards of total offense on 18 plays for the Bearcats. Contrast that against 264 yards for the Pirates. On first down, Uribe over the right side, fighting his way forward for a couple of yards. Bearcats out of timeouts. 30 seconds left here in the first half. Now playing with a lot of urgency here. 20 seconds left now. And Rivera takes the snap. Straight ahead run. Across the 30. Falls forward to the 33. And that'll likely do it here for half number one. Whitworth, 30 minutes away from a Northwest Conference title. We are at halftime. But a tough day offensively for the Bearcats. Just 38 yards of total offense here in half number one. They trailed 19-0. Folks, we'll step away for halftime. We'll take an extended break here on the broadcast, but please rejoin us in about 20 minutes for a look back at first half stats, a look ahead to second half action between Whitworth and Willamette right here on the Bearcat Network. On to kick it off for Willamette. 19-0 our score. Whitworth trying to punch their ticket into the NCAA postseason. A win today would do the job. They can run the table in the Northwest Conference with a win today and a win at home against Puget Sound next week, who are getting absolutely tuned up right now. 56-7 at halftime is the score in Tacoma. Linfield trying to keep pace, but it'll all be for naught if Whitworth takes care of business. The kickoff was driven with a low skipping kick across the carpet here at McCulloch Stadium. It was fielded by one of the up men and taken out across the 40-yard line. So very good field position for the Pirates to start the second half. Lacio back on the field with Salgado behind him. Salgado very impressive in the first half. 14 carries, 95 yards, 1 touchdown. I didn't misspeak in the first half. As down goes Lacio, brought down in the backfield on first down, drops back to pass, is tripped up at the ankles and dropped. And it's Palmer Smith getting into the backfield, just fighting his way through the block of Salgado and ripping him down for a massive loss all the way back to the 32-yard line. A loss of 10 for the Pirates on the first play of the second half. Now a stoppage in play. Not sure what the discussion is here with the officials. They are huddled over the ball at the 32 here at the near hash. Sorting out some stuff, maybe making some dinner plans.
Operator, please reset the game clock to 14 minutes, 43 seconds. 15:43, thank you.
Just a reset of the game clock is apparently all that needed to take place. By the way, we've been trying to follow along with our live stats. We've been unable to get them to load. So apologies for that to those of you trying to keep track of who's doing what on the field. But again, Salgado, 95 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Also caught 3 passes for 27 yards. So Luis Salgado having an all-conference type of day. He keeps his name very much in the discussion for Offensive Player of the Year in the conference. Well-designed play for Whitworth on 2nd and long. Is coming back for the football. Really mixing in a lot into the offense here today. Drake Mathis didn't have a ton of catches coming into this game. Mathis only 4 receptions on the season. Deep drop, lots of time for Lacio. On 3rd and long, Nate Peterson with the catch, but he's dropped at the line of scrimmage. Great open field tackle. Just spectacular pursuit, staying with the play. And he does, in fact, get back to the original line of scrimmage, does Peterson, but that's it. 4th and 10, so the Bearcats force a 3 and out. Very good field position to start the drive for the Pirates after the short kickoff and return back to the 42, but they advance exactly 0 yards upfield. And a near block of the punt. A fair catch called for just inside the 20-yard line. Actually bumped into Bearcats assistant coach Tim Rude. So we're getting set for the first drive of the 3rd quarter for the Bearcats. It is Alex Rivera back on the field for the Willamette offense. Tough sledding for this Bearcats team on the offensive side of the ball in the first half. But, man, give a ton of credit where it's due. This Whitworth defense has done its job. They understood the assignment from the first snap of the ball. Just 1 first down for the Bearcats in the first half of this game. On first down, Rivera, that pass tipped. It's batted up in the air not once but twice and intercepted. So Whitworth's defense continues to do work. That was deflected by 2 different Whitworth defenders before eventually dropping into the hands of Wyatt Hess. Oh my goodness. A couple of very fortuitous bounces have gone the way of the Pirates today. You'll recall in the first half the muffed punt by the Bearcats. That was just a fluky play where a Bearcats player lost his footing and the ball wound up catching his foot. And now the interception puts the Pirates back in business, deep in Bearcat territory. Salgado on first down, ripped down nearly immediately. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and absolutely nothing more. Fantastic job by the Bearcats blowing up that Whitworth front. And that is a stop for no gain. Whitworth will continue to accelerate the process here. They'll get right back after it on 2nd and 10. Now they'll wait for the call to signal in from the sideline. So the Bearcats defense has done its job so far. They forced a 3 and out. And then on first down after the interception, stop for no gain. Now here's Lacio, lots of time, forced to scramble, close to the numbers. Makes the first man miss. He's dropped at about the 20, so a gain of 3 yards. He'll actually spot it down inside the 20, knows the football just outside the 19-yard line. So it's a short 6, or a long 6, short 7 here for Whitworth on 3rd down. Shotgun Lacio with Salgado standing just behind him to his right. Lacio takes the snap, rolls to the right, looking downfield near the boundary, and just throws it away. So again, the Bearcats defense doing its job here. They remain stout on the first 2 Whitworth touches of the second half. First the 3 and out, deep downfield. And now another 3 and out after a short field for Whitworth. But keep in mind, they've got the best kicker in the conference, without question. Iden Bone has been money all year. Missed just 3 field goal attempts. Already has 1 here today. Check that, 2 here today. Well, the Bearcats may have gotten off the line a little bit early. I don't see flags on the field. The field goal's good. It would not have been a first down if the Bearcats had been offside, but there's no flag, and Whitworth probably would have been content to keep the points on the board rather than face a 4th and 1. In any event, the 3rd field goal, check that, the 3rd field goal of the day for Iden Bone, up and good. And he continues to put up sterling numbers in conference play and throughout this season for Whitworth. So 22-0 our score. And yes, the live stats are working. We're so stoked. Our folks behind the scenes have solved that issue. We've got live stats running for you. Folks, we're going to take a 30-second break. We'll come right back for more Bearcat football on the Bearcat Network.
Number 8 for Whitworth is now wearing number 90.
So Jake Gaffney's actually the kicker on kickoffs for this Whitworth team, not Iden Bone. He draws the assignment here, raises a hand. He's set to kick it off from the 35. Big booming kick, angling toward the left side of the field. It'll just sail into the end zone. The Bearcats will start the next drive at their own 25. Alex Rivera looks like he's still going to take the field, steering the ship for this Bearcats offense. Senior day for him. Still, though, it's been a very, very tough day for the Bearcats on offense. They're 1 for 6 on 3rd down, with just 1 first down to show for it. They've got to get something going, just mount and sustain a drive to give themselves a chance in this contest. Rivera from the gun, trailing by 22, will dump it off underneath. This is Uribe making the first man miss, getting outside the numbers. Brought down near the boundary, clock will run, but not after a pretty impressive gain on first down from Uribe after he reels in the pass. Had another nice catch out in the flat late in the second quarter. Kind of a one-handed snare just out of the sky. Didn't get a lot of yards on it, but it sure looked nice. That one was a more pedestrian catch, but it nets much more yardage. 2nd and 2 for the Bearcats from the far side hash. Rivera with 3 wides to his left, 1 at the top of the formation. Looks that way. Now, that pass, I think, just slipped out of Rivera's hands, and they'll just say it is an incomplete pass. I think Rivera was trying to pump fake there. Maybe might have been a little go route of sorts. Off that pump fake,
The
ball
incomplete pass, 3rd down.
just slips out of the grasp of Rivera. And it's 3rd and 2 now for the Bearcats. Ball nestled just inside the 33-yard line on that far hash. So once again, 3 wides to this near side, 1 at the top of the formation. On 3rd and 2, Rivera drops back, looking down across the middle of the field. That's Conley Moscott mixing in. He had 1 catch for 8 yards in the first half. And that one nets Willamette its 2nd first down of the game and first here of the second half. So from their own 39, 2 wides to either side ahead of first down. Rivera with Uribe in the backfield. Uribe takes the handoff. A couple of stutter step moves, but fights his way across the 40. Picks up a couple. Just cannot get over this halftime score in Tacoma. Linfield with 28 points in each quarter, 56-7 at halftime. That is just bonkers. 2nd and 8 here from the 41. Rivera awaits the shotgun snap. And once again, it's Uribe bouncing it outside. Oh, great tackle in the open field. That one saved at least first down yardage for sure. Uribe, if he had gotten into that next level, would have picked up at least another 5, 6, 7 yards, and maybe much, much more. So a spectacular open field tackle from Hunter Latier, saving what might have been a big, big Uribe rumble. Instead, he picks up just a couple. And it's 3rd and 5 for the Bearcats at their own 44. They have yet to be in plus territory today. First down will be spotted at the 49 across the middle. Penalty marker on the field. We'll see what that's all about here in just a second. In the meantime, it's a catch close to first down yardage. Not sure whether he got there or not. Jordan Robinson with the catch. But let's check the penalty. Yeah, Bearcats moving backwards. That's never a good sign.
Legal formation. Offense, 5 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Well, the Bearcats haven't had many flags dropped on them so far today, but that one is frustrating because it backs them up now to 3rd and 10. Robinson may have had first down yardage. It was hard to tell on where the spot was going to be. Likely 4-down territory because it would have been 4th and very short. Instead, it's 3rd and 10. Rivera will roll the pocket to his left, looking downfield. Now gets a block. Scampers back toward midfield. Starts a slide. We'll see where they spot him. And a flag flies into the back end. We might have a personal foul tacked on to the end of the run from Alex Rivera. I always get a little bit too excited when I see flags fly in like that, making too many assumptions. We'll see what happens. Interesting to see where Rivera began his slide, whether he would have had the first down or not. Remember, it's where he begins the slide and not where he winds up. They don't give you forward progress on those. In any event, the official is still talking things over. But given the timing of the flag, I think it is going to be a late hit on the Pirates. We'll see, though. They're still talking about it. Good heavens. There's half a dozen dudes in stripes out there. You think they would have figured this out by now? All right. Marker is picked up, and here comes the call.
Personal foul. Defense. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
So while your big dumb play-by-play announcer does sometimes get those calls wrong, well, we got that one right anyway. That personal foul moves the Bearcats into Pirates territory for the first time here this afternoon. So the drive continues with a fresh set of downs to mess around with for Willamette. They are set up nicely now at the Whitworth 37-yard line. Now whistles ahead of the play. And more discussion. We want tacos? Do we want lasagna? What are you guys feeling? Euros? Should we go to the Euro shop? I hear there's a good spot down the road. Let's check that one out. All right, now we're ready. First down for the Bearcats. Clock winds on the referee signal. Under 9 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Whitworth, the 22-0 advantage. Bearcats driving, and what's all this? Luke Rasmussen on the field, under center as the quarterback, and we're getting our first look at Jarek Little as well. Jarek Little on the carry, dragging tacklers to the boundary. Those are big boy yards after contact from Jarek Little. His first touch of the day. And that's 7, maybe 8 yards on first down. And now Rivera comes back onto the field. So Rasmussen out there for just the 1 snap. Little stays on the field. So the Bearcats mixing in some different personnel for the time anyway. Well, not quite as long a run as I thought for Little. On second down, play fake to him. Rivera wants to go deep, has a man downfield, but it's picked off in the end zone. Oh, goodness. They had Robinson isolated on an island, but step for step with him all the way downfield. Omari Williams there for the interception, and just like that, the drive evaporates for the Bearcats. 2nd and 5 from the Pirate 32. And that pass just sort of hung up in the air a little bit too long. Omari Williams able to work his way back to the football and hauls it down in the end zone. For the 3rd turnover of the day against the Bearcats. The muff punt, 2 interceptions now. And just when the Bearcats offense was starting to get its legs underneath it, they get kneecapped by the turnover. And after the touchback, Whitworth has the football. And they'll turn to Cam Schmidt to start this drive out of the backfield. He takes the carry over the left side, picks up decent yardage on first down. That's his first touch of the day. Cam Schmidt, a 6'1" sophomore from the Tri-Cities up in Washington, not far from Spokane. Picked up 5 on first down. Lacio awaits the snap. Play fake to the tailback. Now Lacio wants to take off. Has a couple of nice blocks in front of him. He's close to the first down, but I think they're going to mark him a yard shy at the 29. Smooth little open field tackle, but the Bearcat defender a little slow to get up. That's John Delgado out near us here. Let's definitely hope he's okay. He has been a huge part of the back end of that Bearcats defense. Leads the team, leads the conference in interceptions before. Had a couple in one game, has a pick 6 to his name. He has been a special talent. In fact, you can pretty much say the rest of the Northwest Conference has known not to throw in John Delgado's direction. He hasn't had a lot of opportunities to make too many picks here in the last few games because no one is throwing the ball toward the guy that he's locked up in coverage with. He gets up and walks off the field under his own power, so that's a great sign for this Bearcats defense. As we get set to return to game action, it's 3rd and a short one. The ball's right at the 29, so it is 3rd and 1 out of the pistol for Lacio. The tailback behind him this time is Owen Harris. It's a pitch to Harris, has first down yardage and a couple of more. Planted a foot and accelerated outside the hash mark. And picks up 6 yards on 3rd and 1. That'll extend the drive. Interception in the end zone a moment ago. The 2nd on the day for the Pirates on first down. Lacio wants to throw, chased out of the backfield. Eludes the pressure, now he's outside the numbers, tries to get out of bounds. He's tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. So, able to get back to the line of scrimmage, but nothing more. No gain on the play, so it's 2nd and 10 now from the near side hash this time. And now a whistle ahead of the play. Well, another of the key pieces in the Bearcats defense, Javi Rodriguez off the field, getting some extra attention for the time being. Let's hope he's okay too. On 2nd down, Short pass in the flat. First man misses. Second man gets to him. Gain of 5 yards at the numbers on the far side. So a gain of 5 on 2nd and 10. Lacio throwing a little bit more than you might expect after the explosive first half of Luis Salgado, but we haven't seen Salgado on the field much here to start the second half. A couple different looks being mixed in here. By and large, it's been Owen Harris in the backfield next to Lacio. On 3rd and 5, Lacio looks to pass again. The man coming right into his grill, floats a pass into the seam, but just over the hands of Nate Peterson, who can't run underneath it. And once again, the Bearcats defense doing work. So they concede 1 first down after the turnover. But that'll do it for Whitworth on that drive, snuffed out by some solid defensive play at each level of the defense by the Bearcats. So now Matthew Herzog on the field for the first time today. This is his first punt attempt. He's a solid punter. Gets a good punt away. It's going to back up all the way into the 15-yard line, where it is fair caught by Elijah Romero. Herzog's done a nice job. He's got more punts put down inside the 20 than any other punter in the Northwest Conference, and you see why right there. He's had to just sit and watch, just be a spectator like the rest of us today, until that moment when he lets off a 50-yard boot downfield with no return, and the Bearcats with a long field facing them as the offense comes back on. Rivera returns to the quarterback position. Had a couple of picks on the day. Was moving the ball well before the interception on the last drive. 4 wides on the field. Uribe in the backfield. To the left and slightly behind quarterback Alex Rivera on 1st and 10 from the 15. Pitch to Uribe, excuse me. He spills forward for a gain of 3. Upended after a short gain. Nice job of Chris Knutson getting off the block and making the tackle for a short gain. On 2nd and 8, Rivera across the middle. Low pass, tough to handle. In and out of the hands of Elijah Romero at the 20. Rivera didn't give Romero much of a chance there. That was below his knees, and Rivera went down to try to get it, but just couldn't quite reel it in, and it's 3rd and long for the Bearcats now from their own 17-yard line. 3 wide to the top, 1 to the near side. This is Robinson isolated at the bottom of the formation. Rivera takes the snap, looking right, fires across the middle. Beautiful throw and catch. Elijah Romero that time with a spectacular grab across the middle. That is a gain of 21 yards on 3rd and 8. How about that throw out of the hand of Rivera? Even better catch from Romero. Gain of 21. That's one of the best plays the Bearcats have had all day. 1st and 10 from their own 38. Passing again on 1st down. Out here to the near side at midfield. Caught by Robinson, sort of just batted it to himself. Nice little one-man tip drill there for Jordan Robinson. Couldn't quite get both hands on it. It was a perfect spiral out of the hand of Rivera. A gain of 12 sets the ball down at midfield. So again, the Bearcats starting to move the ball here in the second half. They had 2 first downs on the last drive, 2 on this one thus far. From midfield, Uribe now moves to the right of Rivera. He'll take the pitch. Looking for some blocks. Has a couple. Oh, big hit. My goodness. Wow. Uribe had nice open field in front of him there for a moment. It quickly bottled up, and then a massive hit flying down the line. Watch this replay. Uribe gets absolutely smoked right there at the end of the play by Drew Cody. Cody is having a spectacular season. He had 8 tackles in the first half. While he might not even get credit for that, because he was not the first man there. Anyway, here's Jarek Little in the flat. Makes the first man miss inside the 40. Close to the 35. Tripped up, brought down by the ankles by Trey Rose. And another first down for the Bearcats. Their third of this drive after the 13-yard pickup into Whitworth territory. Make it an 8-yard pickup, excuse me. There was a 5-yard run a moment ago for Uribe. Now Little remains on the field with 4 wides as well. Underneath route, little shallow crosser into the hands of Romero. Fights his way to the 30. Finally brought down by 3, maybe 4 Whitworth defenders who converge on him. They'll spot it, I think, right at the 30, maybe the 29. So a good, solid gain of 8 yards on first. Brings up second and manageable. Little takes the handoff straight ahead, has the first down inside the 25 this time. And that's now the 4th first down on this drive for Willamette. Rivera's done a nice job mixing in some beautiful throws on this drive. The run game's been effective as well. This is shaping up. Remember, this started back at the Bearcats 15. Now Rivera rolls right. Looking that way, trying to find somebody, spins away from a defender, a second defender, falls forward, close to the 20, diving for positive yardage. Some very shifty moves from AR4. How about those moves? My goodness. Alex Rivera spinning away from what would have been a loss. And jukes a second Whitworth defender. Got a nice block there, flying in late in on the backside of that play. 2nd and 7 for the Bearcats, just outside the 20. Oh, they set up a little screen outside for Uribe. Does a nice job, makes a really good adjustment. That pass was out of the hands of Rivera before Uribe had turned around, and he kind of had to turn one way, then come back the other, and still managed to make the catch. You see Uribe doing everything he could to reel that in, does the job, but doesn't get much out of it. It's 3rd and 7. As good an effort as that was, they didn't do much for the Bearcats in the end, and it looks like they're content to let the 3rd quarter expire before they run their next play. It will be 3rd and 7 for Willamette when we return. They are driving, looking very, very good. This is the most promising drive of the game thus far. But they've got a massive 3rd and 7 awaiting them when the 4th quarter begins on the other side of this break on the Bearcat Network. Once again, it'll be 3rd and 7 for the Bearcats. Another quick look at the rest of the games around the league. George Fox continues to lead Pacific. It's 17-7. Halftime is over in Newburgh. They're getting set for second half action in Tacoma. Things just getting worse for Puget Sound. They now trail 63-7 at home with still 25 minutes left in that game. Linfield might score 100 points in that game. Who knows? Meanwhile, Lewis and Clark has battled back. They've made it a game. They trailed 30-7 at one point. It's now 30-22, a one-possession game in Portland. Lewis and Clark has scored the last 15 points in that one to get themselves back. Here on 3rd and 7, Rivera gives it to Little. He's tripped up, fights his way forward to the 20, but nothing more. So 4th and 5 coming up for Willamette. And it looks as though Nick Beswick-Seidel will be sent on to attempt what would be a 37-yard field goal. Now, it'll It'll be spotted down at the 27, so a 37-yard field goal attempt for Bestwick Seidel here on senior day. He's one of the 13 seniors on this team. Decent snap, good hold, kick is up, and no good, wide right. So Whitworth continues to shut out Willamette. As that field goal had the distance, but Bestwick Seidel just unable to tuck it inside that right upright. And Willamette still scoreless in the contest with 14:21 remaining. There's 10 minutes left in that game in Portland. One possession game, PLU over Lewis and Clark. Pioneers trying to end that 3-game losing streak. So after the turnover on downs, the Whitworth offense returns to the field. They'll take over at their own 20. It was a very, very good drive for Willamette. They got 4 first downs out of it. Underneath, dumped off to the tight end, Nate Peterson. He is factored in today. That's his 4th catch of the day. They've looked his way a couple of other times. Lacio very efficient, 20 of 25 in this game. 170 yards and the short touchdown. And a penalty marker ahead of this play. We saw a Bearcat jump into the neutral zone, but was he drawn offside?
Offside.
He was not.
Defense, number 95.
The offside.
5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Move it to the 26. So 2nd and 4 now for the Pirates. Lacio now actually 21 of 26 on the day. Just 171 yards passing. Fewer than 10 yards per reception. Here's Salgado. He has had a little trouble getting off his spot there, kind of staggering his way out of the backfield, and that allows the Bearcats to just swarm and converge. They bring him down for a loss of about a yard. So Salgado just really never got out of the gates on that one. Just couldn't find his footing. Kind of slip sliding around in the backfield. Takes a loss of a yard, so it was 2nd and manageable. Now it's 3rd and 5. Still a pretty manageable down, but tougher after you've taken a short loss. Salgado remains on the field. Lacio, short drop, bouncing around, looking downfield. The catch is made pretty much right at the sticks. That is Deacon Dietz. He's been reliable all season. He's another one of those little underneath route runners for this team. They have so many of them. They run so many short pass routes for Lacio. Does a great job distributing to all of his guys. Again, no player coming in today with more than 27 catches, but several with double digits. I think 6 or 7 of whom have caught touchdown passes as well. On 1st down, Salgado straight ahead, takes the handoff, spills forward to the 34, maybe the 35. They'll actually spot it at the 34. Clock running, 12:15 to play. Whitworth shut out the Bearcats a couple of seasons ago. Trying to do so again today. Wrap up another Northwest Conference title. Lacio now will let a little bit more of that play clock run. It's at 15. Salgado nearly 100 yards rushing, 98 on the day. Another sort of shallow out route this time. Once again, it's Drake Mathis. Again, Mathis had 4 catches coming in today. I believe that's his 4th catch of the day. First down yardage for Mathis. As Whitworth will drain a few more seconds from the play clock. Looking back toward their sideline. They likely already know the play. Look at this bunch formation here on the near side. Hand off Salgado. Picks up a couple, and if he got 2 yards, he's hit the century mark. He's got 17 carries for 98 yards ahead of that play. And with that carry, he's got exactly 100 on the day. Once again, the Pirates hustle back to the line of scrimmage, but then do the whole thing, the whole rigmarole, the whole chicanery. They look back to the sideline. They probably already know the play. Just stalling, running some more time off the clock. Salgado tries the right side this time. Near midfield, he's brought down short of the line to gain. But it'll be 3rd and 2, I believe, based on the initial spot anyway. And we'll likely see Salgado again here on 3rd and short. I recall early in this contest, the Bearcats stoned Salgado on 4th and inches in the red zone. That was a spectacular play made by Noah Reese early in this contest, bringing Salgado down shy of the line to gain. Here on 3rd down, they'll actually pass. 3rd and 2. Lacio looking downfield, angling his way toward the boundary, trying to pick up the 1st down, and he does so. A couple of yards to spare. Moves into Bearcat territory. No, they'll mark him out right at midfield, but they will give him a favorable spot. It actually looked like he might have run out of bounds a couple yards further upfield. It's not really the most favorable spot, but still, it moves the chains, and that's the most important thing for the Pirates. Under 10 to play now. And the game clock never wound. That was interesting. Starts now on the snap. Underneath, shallow crosser. Making the catch and picking up a couple of extra yards as he drags a tackler forward is Dawson Tobick, as now the Pirates are into Bearcats territory. Javi Rodriguez back in the game, but shuffles off for this next play. So good to see Rodriguez is okay and able to play. 2nd and 2 upcoming after the nice gain by Dawson Tobick on 1st down from the 42, right in the middle of the field. Salgado straight ahead into the 2nd level, dragging tacklers with him close to the 35-yard line. They'll spot him just shy of it, mark him down at the 36, but once again the chains will move. A methodical drive being fashioned together here by Whitworth. This should be the 10th play of this drive for the Pirates. This will actually be play number 11. Pistol formation, play fake to Salgado. Plants a foot, steps up, now slides to his right, throwing downfield into double coverage. And now a flag flies in at the back end of the play. That is a curious flag. They're going to call pass interference against the Bearcats. That's the indication anyway. I didn't see much there. Maybe the replay will show us otherwise, but I did not see much contact downfield.
Pass interference, defense, number 0. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
They will tag Delgado for PI, but I did not see much there at all. It should have drawn a flag anyway. Well, that will set up the Whitworth with very good field position, threatening the red zone now from the Bearcat 21. Salgado, another play fake to him. Delgado does a great job sloughing off the blocker and making the tackle. That is Deacon Dietz picking up a couple. So here's another look at that penalty a moment ago. Lacio scrambling to his right, took his time, finally lets fly downfield. Now it's just out of frame, unfortunately, but I still didn't see much there. And Delgado was a few yards away from the intended receiver. There's Salgado. Tripped up, but nets positive yardage inside the 15. That was a tough call for the Bearcats as it sustains the drive. It'll be 3rd and 1 for Whitworth at the 12-yard line. Called a yard and a half. Salgado standing to the left and just behind Lacio. He takes the snap, turns, gives over the left side, and Salgado has first down yardage inside the 10. This is a methodical drive for the Pirates. This will be play number 14 upcoming, I believe. Started back on their own 20. After the missed field goal by the Bearcats. So 1st and goal for the Pirates. Salgado takes the carry, fights his way forward inside the 5. Salgado really putting together a day. He's up close to 130 yards on the ground. Stays on the field in the pistol. 2nd and goal from the 4. It's now a 76-yard drive for the Pirates. And this is play number 15 of it. Lacio looking right. Up and over the shoulder of the defender into the hands of Deacon Dietz. That's the 2nd touchdown pass of the day for Whitworth. They are in firm control of this contest. They lead it 28-0. A 15-play, 80-yard drive. It results in a 4-yard touchdown. The 2nd on the day for Lacio, the 1st on the day for Dietz. And that's his 4th touchdown catch of the season. And Bone remains perfect on the season on PATs. And Whitworth very much pulling away. They now lead 29-0 on the Bearcat Network. It's been a tough back end of the schedule for the Bearcats, no question about it, after really impressive showings against Pacific Lutheran. Remember that the Bearcats were ahead 21-0 in the first half on the road against Pacific Lutheran. PLU was picked to finish 3rd in the conference. They even received a first-place vote ahead of Linfield and Whitworth. And the Wildcats had them very much in their sights. It was 21-0 late in the 2nd quarter. A late touchdown for the Lutes drew them back within 21-7. And PLU made some halftime adjustments, wound up escaping with a 31-28 victory in that game. It was very much in doubt right down to the last few minutes of that contest. Following week, the Bearcats played then undefeated Lewis and Clark, played them very tough here at home. Then went to Tacoma with their first league win very much within their grasp against Puget Sound, but the Loggers came out of that game playing very well from the outset. The Bearcats were within a score a couple different times throughout that game, but Puget Sound had a comfortable lead for most of it. Wound up losing 45-28. And then they went back to Pacific, who they'd already lost to here at home early in the season in a non-conference matchup. Lost that game by 3 scores. And then last weekend, of course, here at home, lost to George Fox, 31-9. Always tough to close the season against the two teams that are year in, year out expected to finish 1st and 2nd in the league. Rivera back on. He's got it a couple of nice drives. They have not resulted in points yet. That pass batted up in the air. Whistle blows. Had to keep playing until the whistle blew there. That was a very late whistle. That was clearly a pass deflection at the line. I'm not sure what took the official so long to blow it. 2nd and 10 coming up from the 25. On 2nd down, Rivera across the middle. That pass slightly behind the intended receiver, and Aiden Butler unable to reel it in. Would have been a nice catch. It would have had to try to make a good adjustment there in order to reel it in. Just a half step behind him. And it's 3rd and 10 for the Bearcats. Bearcats have looked a lot better on offense here in the 2nd half. Vera down the seam, through the hands, and potentially picked off. What will they say? Are they ruling that incomplete? I believe they are. For a second, it looked like a surefire pick. After that, banged off the hands of the intended receiver. Borchers thought he had the interception. Jarek Little just had that skip right off his hands. Bearcats very fortunate that was not Rivera's 3rd interception of the day. So Brandon Smith back on. His last punt was a beauty. Good snap, but it kind of shanks off the side of his foot. It will take a favorable bounce for the Bearcats, but that one just sort of rolled off the side of the foot of Brandon Smith, and Whitworth will have some decent field position to start their next drive. How about this Whitworth program, though? It's kind of a weird thing. They had to make 4 trips over here. Of the 5 opponents in the Northwest Conference, stationed in the state of Oregon, they had to come over here 4 times this year. They played on the road against Oregon teams 4 times. They first played against Pacific back on October 4th, beat them. Then went to Linfield 2 weeks later, beat them. Lewis and Clark the following week, and now here they are in Western Oregon again, trying to salt away a victory that'll clinch a Northwest Conference championship for them on their 4th and final road trip to Western Oregon on the season. The only team that went over and played Whitworth in the Pine Bowl was George Fox, who they also defeated, of course, as they are undefeated in league play with just Puget Sound left to play. We've got a change at quarterback for Whitworth. This is Renat Mamakanyan in at quarterback. And tailback on the field as well. So the day's likely done for Lacio and Salgado. Impressive way to close the season for Whitworth after a 1-2 showing in non-conference, but they are poised to run the table in the Northwest Conference. Let's talk a little bit more about some of these Bearcats seniors with what time we have left on the broadcast here. This, of course, our final home broadcast of the season. Herde Raj, who's on the field right now over center. This is a guy who came back for a grad year when he absolutely didn't have to. He just wanted to play some more football. He's breaking free into Bearcat territory. There's Ty Faker. Absorbs a big hit, but not after a big play. Herde Raj, again, he came back for a graduate year. Didn't have to do that, but really wanted to just be around the guys, play some more football while he went through grad school. Head coach Eric Williams says of Herde Raj, he's been an anchor for us. Just always working with positivity, with relentless energy. Just another great kid comes from a great family. Been just a joy to have Raj for an extra season. Braden Duke, another guy. Eric Williams really values the relationship he got to build with Braden Duke because he got to know him while Eric Williams was coaching the linebackers last year. He said it was just a privilege to coach him, just a stand-up, outstanding guy who's selfless. Eric Williams calls Braden Duke the type of player that he looks forward to showing up to work in order to get to coach. Those are big words when your coach says that. Like, that's the kind of guy I'm looking forward to coaching when I get to the office. Nick Beswick-Seidel, the kicker. This guy was asked to do everything in special teams last year. He had to punt, he did kickoffs, he did all of the kicking duties for this program, never complained about it. I know that when I met with Eric Williams before the season, he was excited that Kyle Frick and Brandon Smith were here to kind of relieve Beswick Seidel of those punting duties. But, you know, he just said yes to everything, just always wanted to do whatever was needed of him, whatever was best for the team. So Coach was definitely happy to give him a break from punting this year, but very thankful for his dedication. So, yeah, Nick Beswick Seidel, going to miss him a lot. Parker Heisey, that's a guy that Eric Williams says just loves this place, his role on this team. Willamette is in his blood. Those are Eric Williams' words, not mine. Willamette is in his blood. Parker Heisey was also part of the interview process for Coach Williams. He was always just so impressed with him, a great leader, great person as well. Trajan Clark, probably our most improved senior. This is the words of Eric Williams again from last year to this year. He put in a lot of work in the weight room as we reached the 2-minute timeout in the game. Trajan Clark, who actually came to Willamette as a quarterback, but after the COVID year, kind of got lost in the quarterback shuffle, so he made the transition to wideout for this team, put in a ton of work in the offseason to get his body ready. He's been one of the best targets for Rasmussen and Rivera on the season. He gladly made the move to receiver and has been great for Willamette in that role. Aaron Wilson, here's a guy who just, the program had very high expectations for Aaron when he got here, but he's battled injuries, which was very unfortunate for him. Coach Williams saying, I know that he would have lived up to those expectations if he had the chance. It's just too bad that he just could not ever get healthy. But he's been a great motivator for the rest of his teammates. He's been a great cheerleader for the team, just doing everything he can to be positive and supportive for his teammates all the time. Brandon Smith, the punter that we've seen on the field a few times today. You know, this is his first year as a grad transfer. Really helped us out a lot. This is Coach Williams' words. Loved having him here, even if it was just for a semester as he works on his graduate degree. Caden Gonzalez, another guy that Coach Williams tried to find a home for. They moved him around a bunch. First he was a wideout on this team, then a defensive back, and then back to wideout because they needed him back there. He's always been willing to do whatever was best for the team. Always positive, always great to be around, always supportive of his teammates. Kylan Keeler, this is a JUCO guy that was brought in by Coach Williams and his staff. Solid backup last year who stepped up and did a lot more this season in the middle linebacker position. Ed did everything that was asked of him as well. Kylan Keeler is a guy who's just hanging out in the offices because he wants to just learn more about football and just wanting to learn and be a good teammate. Coach Williams says that of Kylan Keeler, he knows he's going to be famous at something. He just doesn't know what it's going to be yet. And then finally, how about Terry Sherman? Here's a guy that played both football and basketball here at Willamette. They really wish they could have gotten him onto the field, but again, his body just kind of betrayed him at the wrong times. Back in spring ball, Terry Sherman was showing out. He was flying around, making plays. They actually wanted him on defense, but they realized Terry Sherman can catch, he can move, so they wanted to play him at tight end, but Sherman, again, just another guy who got just his career kind of shut down by injuries, had to just wear the jersey and nothing else on the field on Saturday afternoons. Really wish they could have given him a chance on the field, but just an awesome dude who loves everybody and is always good to everyone around him. So 13 seniors on this team, shutting things down here for McCulloch Stadium. We're going to put it in mothballs here in just a few moments as the Pirates are taking a knee to close out today's game, but it's a tough one when you have to say goodbye to so many special student athletes, but the train rolls on and they will have other guys step up in their places, and there's a lot more special people that are going to be coming in and out of this program for years to come. And I know Coach Eric Williams loves every single thing that every single one of these seniors did for this program in whatever amount of time they were here for. And the celebration is on for the Pirates. They are your Northwest Conference champions in 2025. Their win today locks them into the field. They will play in the postseason. It doesn't matter what they do next week, but they can claim the title outright with a win at home against Puget Sound next weekend. You know they want to do that. You know they want to run the table and head into the postseason with all the momentum they can possibly have on their side. Folks, it's been so much fun to bring you these games. We've had a lot of ups and downs, haven't we? I know that the results weren't always there for this Willamette team this season, but it sure has been fun. My 4th year here in the booth has been my most fun so far, for sure, no question about it. The program continues to make a lot of strides, a lot of progression forward. Just a matter of building up the numbers on this team so that they can continue to just get better and better, more and more competitive in the coming years. Head coach Eric Williams has this team moving in a very, very good direction in a lot of ways. Hey, by the way, a couple of very nice wins for basketball yesterday to kick off this season, both the men and women. The men's basketball team was down 22 points in the first half. They eventually cut it to 15 at halftime, fought all their way back to force overtime, and then boat raced Laverne in overtime to win 109-98. Then the women followed that up with a win of their own. So the 2 basketball teams from Willamette off to a very nice start to their season with 2 victories. And volleyball tonight, if you're in the Salem area, come out and watch the Willamette volleyball team compete for a shot in the postseason as well. A win tonight, and they are in, I believe, I'm pretty sure they've got all the tiebreakers in place. If Willamette volleyball wins tonight, their match begins at 6 p.m. over in Cone Fieldhouse, just down the street from here at McCulloch Stadium. They will be into the postseason as well. Back to football here. 13 seniors today. Very sorry to see them all go, but they are all just spectacular human beings, and we expect big things of them as their lives continue to blossom and flower and progress. And we know they'll all kind of stay tied in with this Bearcat family, and they'll carry the Bearcat mentality forward wherever they go. It's been a wonderful season. Tune in one more time to watch the Bearcats next weekend up in McMinnville. That game against the Wildcats kicks off at 1 p.m. up yonder. Folks, once again, thanks so much for hanging out with us this season for Willamette football. Game number 5, our final broadcast from here in the booth at McCulloch Stadium is in the books. We will see you in 2026. Can't wait to get that season rolling. Basketball season's right around the corner. So fired up for it all. Once a Bearcat, always a Bearcat. Congrats once again to our 13 seniors from this program. Folks, we'll see you next fall right here from McCulloch Stadium. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great holiday season, everyone. Go Bearcats. Good night.